Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt.
Hi, it's 1975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Xbox, and today I'm bringing you a fun video looking at some people that have taken things too seriously or taken things too far. We're going to have a look at some examples. This is not a video to be taken too seriously, but it does deal with salty content. It's one of those subjects where certain people just take things a little bit too far, and I've got two examples that I thought I'd look at. So before we get started, I'd just like to say,
oh shit, here we go again.
Now recently a player who's pretty much a celebrity on the PC circuit or on the PC scene posted a video, and Star and Scooby went over there and asked him a few questions, because currently the player is banned from the game. Now according to the comment section on the comments, and I don't know, I'm only reporting what's on the comment section, I don't know the circumstances, I don't know exactly what's going on, but somebody was accusing him of having 3 alt accounts banned as well as his main account being banned. It was Akuma who was the leader of Spear up until last year. It was last year he got banned. I did a video about it when it happened, and it seemed to be a story involving harvesting of IP addresses and suspected doxing of people. Now Akuma is still claiming that, well, you'll see, because I've cut out some of the comments that he made back after Scooby questioned him about a few things. Now, I'll be fair, I don't know the ins and outs of the case, so Akuma, for all I know, could be a lovely bloke who's telling the truth. He says he don't harvest IP addresses, now this never happened. He also goes on to say how the organisation Spear is not dependent on one person, and that he doesn't even need the game installed to act as leader of Spear and coordinate Spear as a group within the game. Now he also then goes on to say that he sacrificed the account to get some cheaters banned. Now, as someone who's reported cheats in all sorts of games, in Call of Duty and Elite Dangerous and stuff, made videos exposing cheats, I've reported and got banned many a hacker, and I've never once harvested an IP address or even considered harvesting an IP address. And that's not within the remit of what you do. Is you collect the evidence you've got and you just pass it on to the developers and you let them deal with it. I know it's frustrating if the developers don't deal with it. I've had that circumstance happen for many a year, but you don't go digging into, that's just, as far as I'm concerned, that's a little beyond the pale. But I did know booster busters back in the day on Call of Duty that would go as far as doing that sort of thing. It just wasn't something that I ever got into. But his story changes as he goes on. He seems to say that he starts off by saying that he didn't harvest IP addresses, that didn't happen, and then as we go he gets more and more defensive about it, and actually posts something saying that under certain European laws he's allowed to harvest IP addresses. Well, if you didn't harvest them, why are you quoting the law regarding it? Or a cut and paste. It seems to be that he gets a lot of questions involving the same thing. Like I say, I don't know the guy, I've never spoken to the guy. I will admit to a bias in this circumstances, because my engagements with Spear, or my interactions with Spear, have been kind of semi-negative. I got on well with one of their commanders until I found out he was like throwing shade at me behind my back, and I asked him just to apologise and he refused. So that's by the by. He doesn't want to admit to doing anything wrong, even though I've sent him screenshots of him making accusations about me doing stuff that I haven't done, But Akuma here is like protesting his innocence and saying that he definitely didn't do anything. But Star and Scooby kept asking him questions, and I completely agree with the statement coming up. Whether he's guilty or innocent, or whether he was just a participant, or whether he did actually harvest the IP addresses, to me that side of it doesn't matter. It's the fact that you're taking the game way too seriously if you're contacting the developers of the game with a legal team to dispute a ban. If you get banned in the first place, it's not a good idea. Also, he has a lot of knowledge. he's very, very knowledgeable on networking and how like it all works, etc. And he's obviously got programming knowledge, etc. But just, you know, why just go to the length that you've gone to? Just if you suspect hacking, if you suspect stuff that's going on, if you suspect cheats, just report the suspicions. Your job, your involvement as a player just seems weird. I report cheats I come across, but I don't go hunting for them, and I certainly don't go hacking through the game files to get their IP addresses. It just seems on a level that just seems weird to me. But like I say, he says he never did harvest IP addresses, though he does say he's allowed to harvest IP addresses. So I'm a little confused as to his involvement, but I will just say that at any point that you're obtaining a legal team and challenging the developers of the game to try and get a ban overturned probably means you took the game too far in the first place. Star comes at him and saying, like, you got banned, so obviously there was evidence at the time. He says it was just floundering a narrative of people slandering him, and it was all slander and it was all lies. And like I say, I don't know the case well enough, I don't know him well enough, never spoken to the guy. He could be one of the loveliest guys on earth, I've never spoken to him. You know, I'm making no judgments about his character here, but I'm just saying, if you're engaging your legal team to try and overturn a ban, you've probably taken things to a level that it didn't need to go to. Certainly, as a player, when you're playing a game, if you suspect someone's cheating, there is a limit to what you should do to investigate that. I have seen in the past with people taking it too far. When I was like a part of Booster Busters and reporting cheats on Call of Duty, I had different opinions to certain people over that sort of thing. But like I say, if you're engaging legal teams, for me, you've taken it too far. But that's our first case study. I'll leave that one there. I'm just going to say, let's have a look at what your views do and help with, and we'll get on with the next case study. So we're going to take a pause to take a quick look at what you guys sponsor. With your guys' views, you help out Big Red Rooster Cockerel Rescue, helping out cocks of all sizes, all shapes, and for the love of the cock, keep watching so we can raise money for this lovely little animal rescue and save birds like my little co-pilot here. So here we come up to the second case study. Now this is one that I feel my attitude towards has changed over the years quite a lot, because I started off on Xbox playing Call of Duty, and Call of Duty lobbies were notorious. Like, if you didn't have like 5 people screaming at you to kill yourself after a game of search and destroy against a bunch of trick shotters, you were doing something wrong in my book. I used to sweat that game out. I used to try hard, have fun trying hard. I used to use ballistic knives, do fun stuff, silly stuff, but I always tried to win. I basically didn't do much lobby talk. I tended to sit back and record it and have a laugh. It's part of the fun, and I used to entice hate messages by doing well in the game and teabagging people. Now, anytime you start straight out declaring how old you are and how damn hard you are, you probably lost the momentum there. The I'm hard Bruce Lee, or I'm hard I've been in the military, or I'm 6'5", a bouncer and a boxer, doesn't get you any credit with anybody. We've heard it all before. It's just, at this point, it's become a tragic meme. Anyone saying these sort of things in messages, this is the sort of salt that I live for. This is the sort of level of salt that I look to get when I play video games. When I was playing Call of Duty, if I didn't get someone threatening to kill me within the first hour of play, I had done something severely wrong. I used to get so many messages of hate that I used to make hate mail montages. I am honestly still proud of my stats from the old Call of Duty days. 90% of people chose to avoid me, and look at that, quit early, only 1%, because I never quit early. But 67% unsporting. I wonder why. It was a shooter. I probably shot them in the face a lot. People get upset about the weirdest of things. But I agree with Omanuk that getting death threats off of other players is like a badge of honor. It's like, it's a bit of fun in a lot of ways. It's it just shows that you've annoyed someone to the point where they're making themselves look like an idiot. If you're the sort of person that gets that angry that you're making death threats, that's a you problem. It seriously is a you problem. You have issues. You should probably talk to someone. because, you know, you shouldn't be making death threats over a video game. It's crazy, especially when you're talking about like one death in Elite Dangerous, which doesn't cost anything, and like you're making claims that you've killed people in the past, and you know, you've killed tons of bad guys over these 10 years. That's, you know, it's a bit creepy and a bit weird. You know, you don't even know who's at the other end when you're sending these messages. You'd be like a 9-year-old kid, especially in a game like Elite Dangerous. I mean, in Call of Duty, technically everyone's supposed to be over 18, but you know, most of them weren't. Children's online daycare was in full effect. Now, someone on Discord made comment that had I got a death threat of this sort of caliber, an actual proper death threat, then they could see why I was so annoyed about something that happened a few years ago. Well, you know, which is odd, because what happened a few years ago was somebody sent me a load of abuse and threats. It went on for an 8-month period. They sent me all kind of horrible threats and nasty stuff, and then it escalated with them doxing me and then making threats towards my other half and the animals. At that point, I drew the line. I don't mind you coming after me. In fact, I find it really funny if you do. But at the point where you do something illegal like doxing me and then threatening my other half, who you were stalking on Facebook, I have to draw the line somewhere. And all I did in response was I sent a very polite message saying, look, if you have an issue with me, please come and talk to me. I sent this to all the accounts. It was like, literally, please come and talk to me like an adult if you have an issue with me. But if you continue doing what you're doing, I have to report this to the police, because what you're doing is illegal. And after I sent that message, the one person I knew was definitely involved blocked me on Xbox, and it all stopped. So I called it quits. That was it. I never went to the authorities. I never went to FDev. I never complained to Xbox, because there was no need. It was all settled as far as I was concerned. But some people still harp on about it, claiming that I lied about the whole thing and I played victim throughout the whole thing. And they went around telling everyone I was a lying, mentally ill victim and all this sort of stuff. And hilariously, they provided no proof. But I got sent many a threat of this caliber over the years, and I've never responded in a weird or like mental way. I've just always laughed because it's funny. I mean, really? Hope you find it funny when I have a gun aimed at your head. Seriously, it's a video game. It's a video game. You know, I love a certain amount of shit talking, but in these days, you can't go over that line. People will get banned for making death threats. You can get banned for sending 3 letters in system chat, you know. So be very careful what you say. I mean, I personally don't agree with a permanent ban for things like this nature, because everyone should have the chance to learn and grow. But I'm not surprised these people get banned, you know, for doing what they're doing. Shit talking should be just flinging poo, nothing too serious. That's all. Thanks for watching.
If you have any poo, fling it now.